¿Cuántos somos? All right, we're gonna go ahead and start. So turn on your cameras, guys, please. Today we're going to continue with the reading practice that we were seeing last time. We're gonna do another text today. Hi, David. Hi, everyone who's joining.
Hi.
Hi, good evening, guys. Okay, so as I was saying, today we're going to continue with the reading practice. So we're gonna do another one of those. Before we get started, any questions, anything that wasn't clear last time, any advice you want to ask for about any specific type of question? All right, so give me 2 seconds. Okay, so just like last time, we're going to take about 7 minutes to read. I'm going to share the link. I'm going to send you guys the link in the chat. Okay, so ahí pueden entrar al documento. And just like last time, we're going to take around 7 minutes to read it, and then we're going to do the questions together. Nicolas, can you read the title of today's text, please?
Sure. The art of Pompey's influence on neoclassicism.
And what do you think this text is going to be about?
I think the main topic is art. How
Yeah.
some culture or some, I don't know. I'm not sure, but something about art.
Yeah, history and art, more or less.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of Pompeii? You know it. The famous volcano in Italy.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah, this giant volcano that basically destroyed the entire city, no toda una civilización. Okay, so ahí tienen el link, pueden ir entrando para leerlo. I'm gonna give you guys 7 minutes, okay, to read the text. Yeah. Okay, so your 7 minutes start now. Right. For those of you who are just answering, the link to the document is in the chat. Y como la otra vez, vamos a tomarnos 7 minutos para leerlo. No solo mandar cosas. Hi, you guys. For those of you who are joining the meeting, you can find the a link to the document en el chat de la reunión. All right, guys. Is there anyone who hasn't finished reading? Does anyone have any questions? Is there any information that's kind of incomplete that you're not really sure about? Algo que no les haya quedado claro? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the questions. Okay, espera, vamos a- Okay, so this is the type of question that asks almost for a paraphrase, una paráfrasis de esta oración resaltada. So, Daniela, could you please read the question, then the highlighted sentence, and you tell us which one you think it is, please.
Okay, which of the following best expresses the essential information in the highlighted sentence in paragraph 1? Incorrect answer choices change the meaning in important ways to leave out essential information. When Pompeii effectively preserved under a little mountain of volcanic ashes, many everyday items were kept intact, including several of the city's mural paintings. The first one.
Yeah, I also think so. Let's see the other ones y vamos a ir eliminando por qué. First, items that were commonly used in Pompeii were no longer accessible. Now, this one is absolutely not true para nada, porque más bien dice que they were well preserved. So this one podemos eliminarlo. The next one, volcanic ash functions well as a preservative, especially for paintings. Now, siempre van a meter detallitos en la oración que no sean ciertos. In this case, the part where it talks about especially for paintings, it doesn't, no especifica que es especialmente las pinturas, it just mentions that they were included. No, so this part is incorrect. Especially. Esa es la palabra clave que sería incorrecta. And in the next one, remnants of Mount Vesuvius completely covered many objects and pieces of art, which is also true. It does mention it, but it's not the main idea. The main idea is that they were well preserved. So I think the most general one, que no tiene información errónea ni nada, would be the first one. I think so too. There you go. And it's the first one. And yes, it's correct. So good job, Danny. Thank you. Let's see the next one. Okay, this one asks for exclusion of information. Okay, so one of these is not true, where all of these styles did this except one of them. So you have to see which one did not attempt to mimic the appearance of actual physical objects. No, en el párrafo donde describen los tipos de arte que había. So who wants to answer this one? Camila?
Yes, I'm here, teacher. But sorry, I entered to the class late because I have a problem. But
Okay, don't worry.
To read now or
no, don't worry about it. Someone else then. Corina, do you want to tell us which one you think it is? Yeah, don't worry.
I think it's the third style.
Okay, so let's check the information in the text. The first style was characterized by large plaster walls painted to look like colorful, elegant stones, known as the Mason style, or the masonry style. The second style, characterized by its illusionist imagery with murals featuring three-dimensional images and landscapes seen through painted windows. that had a sense of depth. And the third style is an ornate style by two-dimensional fantastical perspectives rather than three-dimensional. Exact. All of them have very realistic styles except this one. Fantastical perspectives. And the last one is a mix of both of them, right? So the one that does not attempt to look realistic, esa es la clave, ¿no? To mimic the appearance of physical objects significa que es realista. So que no es realista is the third one. I agree. And it's correct. So thank you. Good job. Next one. Inferral. So that means the answer is not in the exact words in the text, but has to be kind of interpreted. Cayetano, can you please read the question and tell us which one you think it is?
Sure. Which of the following can be inferred from paragraph 2 about the fourth Pompeian style?
And let's check the text.
Maybe the third. It contains aspects of multiple previous distinct Pompeian styles.
Yeah, I agree, because it's the most general one, the one that most fits with the information. It was most often painted onto particular types of ornate stonework. It does mention this, but that's not the most important thing, right? This is wrong. This information is wrong because this was a time period during which it was created, not the rules it followed. And the first one, it doesn't really imply at any moment if it was popular or not. So en este pedacito está la información errónea. No sabemos si era popular o no. So this is the most general one. No tienen nada muy específico que puede estar mal. So yes, that's the right one. Thank you, Cayetano. Good job. Let's check the next one. Catherine, can you read the question and you tell us which one you think it is?
Okay. In paragraph 3, the author uses painstaking work to describe I think it's the third option.
Okay, how rewarding the labor of digging up Pompeian art was. Why do you think so?
Because it was hard to find out the Pompeii art.
Yeah, all of them imply that, right? Because the word painstaking, if you're not exactly sure of the meaning, it can directamente, no, pain is in the word. So es como que un trabajo muy difícil, muy doloroso, very, very exhausting. And yes, it was very rewarding.
I think it's the fourth, yes.
How demanding it was to extract.
Yes.
Because yeah, it can imply how long, pero no hay más información que verifique, ¿no? Que era mucho tiempo. Although, puede que sí, pero no está en el texto. How much devotion, also igual juicios de valor, usually, unless it's very explicitly stated in the text, juicios de valor like si esto era bueno o malo, si era como que mucha devoción o mucho esfuerzo, it's usually best not to assume them either unless they're very clearly stated. The more general one is we can say it was demanding. It's kind of like a synonym for painstaking. Igual, probablemente sí era very rewarding, pero el énfasis de la palabra is more in the effort. Sorry, guys, my connection. And yes, it was the last one. Thank you, Catherine. Next one. Okay. David, can you please read the question and you tell us which one you think is the correct answer?
The phrase capture the imagination in paragraph 3 is closest in meaning to inspired.
Yes, I think so too. Why wouldn't it be delighted, for example? ¿Por qué no sería delighted?
Because we're talking about new artists.
Yeah, it's right there in the following part of the sentence of a new generation of artists, and the topic in general is how they influenced each other. No, so inspired es el que más cabe. And yeah, it's correct. Good job, David. Thank you. Okay. Next one. Liliana, can you please read the question and you tell us which one you think it is?
Okay. The author mentions Jacques Louis David in paragraph 3 as an example of see, maybe.
Okay, a figure who was this one, right?
Yes.
Why do you think so?
Because we're talking about a Pompeii art. So
I have to look at the full sentence though. In this case, a figure who was integral to the discovery of lost Pompeian artwork. Was he really someone who discovered? Was he an architect? Or qué se llaman? No son antropólogos. También. Pero the people who dig up the artifacts, right? He wasn't
Archaeologist.
Archaeologist, that's the word. Thank you. But he wasn't an archaeologist, he was an artist. So I don't think he really helped the discovery. Esta no creo, porque esta partecita estaría mal. Let's see the other ones. A painter who worked predominantly in the ornate style of Pompeian art. Is this correct?
yes.
It is correct, but is it the most important thing about him? Is it why he's mentioned? Es un poco muy específico, ¿no? De por qué es necesario mencionar este pintor. Let's see the next one. One of the leaders who dictated the values of the French art community. Is that part true? It does say he was very influential, but not necessarily one of the leaders. So I think this part is incorrect. I think this is the one who that's more general and that ties into the rest of the text, no? Because the text isn't necessarily about this painter, it's about Pompeian art in general. So we're mentioning him como incluirlo un ejemplo. So he's an example of an artist who drew visibly from historical Pompeian styles. En general hablamos de eso. Sobre. Thank you, Liliana. Okay, another synonym one. Let's see. Corina, can you please read the question and you tell us which one you think it is?
The word dime in paragraph 4 is closest in meaning to I think it's darkened.
It's dimmed and yes. If you're not sure of the word, always look at the context. Pero si sabes que es dimmed, es como que si bajarle a las luces, so significa más oscuro, darkened. In this particular work, you can see the first style of colored slabs, in the dim space behind the arches in the background. In this case, it is a little hard to pick it up from context, but since you're talking about paint, you can kind of guess it's either darkened or lightened. Y si sabes un poco más el significado de la palabra, you can know it's darkened. Pero con esa pista de que estamos hablando de pintura y demás, de colores, light and dark. Sorry guys, my internet really is. Yes, and that's correct. Thank you, Corina. All right. The next one. It asks us to interpret information. And Nicolas, can you read this one, please? And you tell us which one you think it is.
Okay. According to paragraph 4, which of the following is true of the painting The Oath of the Orati?
Not sure?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess.
Okay, which one do you think it is?
I would say that it will be the third one.
Okay. In this case, yeah, vamos a hacer
or the first one.
Yeah, vamos a, espera, from the bottom up. These are pretty clearly not true, algunos. It depicted a famous event in Roman history. Not really, in ningún momento lo menciona, so this one, no. It was painted shortly after the discovery of Pompeii. Also, not really, and it wouldn't make sense, right? Because he developed this art style over time, so mucho tiempo después de que se descubrió. So this one also not true. These two are a little more, It contained elements from a range of artistic eras of Pompeii. No, it clearly states that as well, that it mixed 3 or 4 styles very clearly. So esto podría ser casi como una paráfrasis de esta parte. So esta parte sí, se puede, you can infer that, it's true. And this other one, it inspired a clear shift in artistic trends of the time. So let's look at the text. It doesn't really say if it marked, o en esta parte del párrafo por lo menos, mencionando esta pintura, it doesn't say that it influenced the art or the art of other artists in general, o el arte de Europa, of France, right, is where he was from. So it doesn't really state that either. I think the most general one, the one with no mistakes or no false information, is this one. Además está ahí. So I would also go for the third one. And yes, it's correct. So thank you, Nicolas. Okay, these ones. These are the ones where we have to stick this sentence in a part of the text. Okay, so David, could you please read the sentence and tell us where in the paragraph you think it should go?
Okay. Certain artists outside of France in the 18th century were also known to produce highly ornate and large-scale murals that reflected the third and fourth styles of Pompeian art. A, I think it's A.
A, are you sure? Let's check. Lo que siempre nos ayuda is the beginning of the sentence that they're giving us. Okay, here sometimes the connector or generally the main idea that's being presented nos va a ayudar a ubicar where we have to put it. If it's a contrasting idea, like if it says nonetheless or on the other hand or something like that, entonces tenemos que buscar dónde contrasta, ¿no? Una información previa y dónde hablan de otra cosa en el siguiente punto.
No,
Which one?
I think it's C.
Yes, I also think it's C. Because in here seguimos hablando de la pintura esta, the Oath of Harari, right? And this one, in the next sentence, we're still talking about the Oath of Harari in this particular work, Así que no puede romper la idea acá. So A, I don't think so. Next, we're still talking about the same painting. Here, this artist serves as just one example of the 18th century artists. So we're also still talking about this painting, this painter. So we're still talking about him. This idea is introducing a new topic. No, aparte de what was his name? Jacques Claude David. There are other artists outside of France. So aquí tenemos que buscar dónde empezamos a hablar de otra cosa. Here ya estamos hablando de the English architect Robert Adam. So ya estamos hablando de otro artista de otro país. So I think here está donde se tiene que romper la idea. So I also think it would be C. Y veamos D. Here we're talking about Robert Adam, pero si lo cerramos acá, or if we put this here, we already mentioned, we're already talking about another artist. So maybe it would be better to introduce this before. So I think C is the most accurate one. El chiste siempre está en el principio de la oración que les dan. So yes, it's C, correct. And finally, the last one. I don't think we saw this type of question last class. Okay, in this type of question, they're going to give you, you have to make a sort of summary. Okay, they give you a first statement and you have to choose three other statements that are main ideas. Algunos de estas oraciones van a ser como que detalles or supporting details that may be true, they may be incorrect as well, but they may be true, they're just not the main idea of the text. So hay que elegir las oraciones que mejor resuman. Solo las ideas principales. Okay, so the directions are: an introductory sentence for a brief summary of the passage is provided below. Complete the summary by selecting the 3 answer choices that express the most important ideas in the passage. Some answer choices do not belong in the summary because they express ideas that are not presented in the passage, que son mal, or minor details in the passage, no, que son detallitos. This question is worth 2 points. Okay, so the opening sentence or the first statement. Adrián, can you please read the opening statement?
Sure. The discovery of preserved Pompeian art led to the development of the European neoclassical style of the 18th century.
Okay, so this introduces the whole text, right? Más o menos es como que una versión más larga del título. The first statement, Pompeian art reflected the stylistic tastes of the owners of the buried murals and provided a window into the culture of the ancient world. Is this information correct?
Mm,
I think this little detail here, stylistic tastes of the owners of the buried murals. ¿Quiénes en realidad serían los dueños de los murales? The people in Pompeii, I guess, who are, muertos
it's
hace mucho
like
tiempo.
like the text doesn't mention about owners.
It doesn't talk about who owned the art al final, si lo compraron después. So we're going to leave this one pendiente because of this little piece, but we're not sure. I don't think it is. Let's see the next one. Shifting trends in French art played a significant role in increasing popularity of classical artistic training. Is this true? Is it mentioned in the text?
No, I think yes.
They do mention it, kind of. But is it a main idea? Is it a detail or a main idea? Las dos preguntas que tienen que hacerse con estos. Is this incorrect or correct? Y luego, is it a detail or a main idea?
No, I think it's more a detail.
Yeah, it's not really important to the whole thing, right? So this is just, I don't think it's this one either. Next one. The volcanic debris that descended from Mount Vesuvius protected assorted works of Pompeian art from deterioration. True or not true? Anyone can answer, by the way. Todos en cualquier momento díganme what you think.
I think it's true.
Yeah, that is true, right? They said it very clearly más arriba en el segundo párrafo, creo. Now, is it a main idea or is it a detail?
I will consider it as a main idea.
Yes, it is a main idea. Why do you think so?
It's the main idea of the second paragraph, I think, or the first one, the way he introduces about Pompeii.
Yes, exactly. The way we can tell if it's a main idea is if it extends during a long part of the text, y le dedican todo párrafo, or if the idea repeats itself throughout, ¿no? Como que dan diferentes puntos en diferentes momentos, reforzando esta idea. So yeah, they mentioned this all throughout, le dedican un párrafo. So yes, this is a main idea. Yeah. Okay, next one. The work of Jacques David had a strong influence on neoclassical art in the 18th century, with his work directly inspired by the varied styles of Pompeian art. Is this incorrect or correct? Correct, right? Porque igual hemos hablado bastante de este amigo, de su arte. And now, is it a main idea or a detail?
It's a main idea.
It's a main idea. They spent a whole paragraph talking about this guy. And they continued, like they used him as an example, y luego han hablado de más y más artistas. So yes, he's important. The next one. The first three Pompeian styles of art are distinct from one another, while the fourth style combines elements from all three of its precursors. Is this correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Correct, it's correct. And do you think it's a detail or a main idea?
A main idea, because it's really important to know the meaning of all the styles.
Because they not only do they give it like a whole paragraph describiendo cada uno, but also later on in the text, they mention, this artist used a mix of the third style, and then this artist used So they reference it all throughout. So este sí es una main idea. Y con eso ya tenemos tres, pero por si acaso, let's read the fourth one. The people of Pompeii died primarily due to severe heat exposure rather than suffocation under the weight of volcanic ash. Is this correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
It's correct.
Correct.
Actually, sí. Bueno, that's not really clear. Y bueno, al final, realmente no importa, ¿no? The point of this is not how they died. Pero, yeah, con eso ya tenemos 3. And let's see. Yeah, the trick to these guys is really reading carefully. No, para ese tipo de exámenes, leer las instrucciones, leer la pregunta y leer las opciones very carefully es la clave, because there are little pieces like that, you know, of the sentence that can be incorrect, or little pieces of the question that asks you for some specific things. ¿Cuáles eran? Este y este. And yes, they're correct. And that is the last type of question. Those are all the questions que hay en este tipo de exámenes, o bueno, esta parte del examen. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know if you guys have any questions. And also there are like 10 questions more or less, ¿no? Para cada parte igual. So, no sé
Sorry,
si...
Dre, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
In the last type of question, the summary one, do we have to list them, the answers in order?
No,
Because-
in the same order they give you in, porque there are main ideas that can, you know, be interchanged en el orden en el que te dan las selecciones, and don't worry about ordering
It
them.
doesn't matter, the order.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Questions? Any advice you want to ask? Any comments about the class? All right. So lo vamos a dejar ahí. Les mando el... Ay, espera, voy a... Ok, so ahí les llegó la encuestita. Pueden irla llenando, chicos. And, well, ya saben, la llenan y ya pueden salirse de la reunión. So, have a nice weekend, guys. Have a nice rest of the evening. Y bueno, eso, disfruten su fin de. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Everyone.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye bye, everyone.